Hey guys, Natasha here, and today we're talking how to trick yourself into saving. Now, obviously we want to save purposefully, we want to save prudently so that we can invest our money, but it can get really difficult sometimes, and so I'm not opposed to some smart things we can do to make sure we're saving every penny and investing it. So here's a few ways that you can trick yourself into saving your money. Before we get started, please note these videos do not constitute financial advice. If you're in need of financial advice, please contact a registered financial advisor. Let's get started. We'll start with the really easy ones in the beginning, things that you might have heard before, and then we get really interesting towards the end. So first up, automation. I think everybody has heard of this one before. Automating your savings, but also in your investments, you can automate your dividend reinvestments. So what does that mean? If you have some sort of share portfolio or index that you've invested in, when the companies pay out dividends, instead of it going to your share account and just sitting there or coming into your bank account, they can just reinvest it in that stock. So that way you're perpetually investing, and it's something you don't have to think about, and you're saving extra. Of course, on the automation of savings, what we mean is pay yourself first. We've heard this many times. So if you're getting paid on the 25th, put a debit order for yourself, whether it's a transfer, automatic transfer, or something to an investment account or to a savings account, depending on what your goals are. Make that on the 25th, so that it's automatic. Every month a certain amount goes to this account, that account, to pay yourself through investments and savings, and you never pretend that you have money or you never get attached to that money, because on the day it comes in, it goes out as well. So you can be rich broke. Remember, being rich broke is when you're broke, but it's because you put all your money in investments and now you only have this much to spend. Yeah, it sounds good. I like it. Rich broke. It makes me feel better about myself. I'm just going to go around saying I'm rich broke, because yeah, I feel broke a lot, but then I look at like, okay, I'm putting money in investments and extra in my bond and all that stuff, so I'm doing the right things, but I just feel broke. So be rich broke. The second thing you can do, which is also very popular, you would have hopefully heard this before, make your savings and investments hard to access. Okay, so maybe you're saving an emergency fund. Don't put that cash in a savings account that's linked to your check account, right? Because you can easily transfer between the two. Put it in a whole different bank account, right? Or you can do those notice deposits where you have to give a lot of notice, otherwise you'll pay fees. Then of course there's your investments accounts, which should usually have a bit of a hold on the money. So definitely look at what your needs are. And we discussed this in the emergency funds video. I'll link it up at the top. You need to think about what your needs are and see how much money in an emergency would you need to access immediately. Everything else you can sort of stagger in terms of how quickly you can access that. I love this one. Naming your savings and investments accounts after your goals. I think this is really just a great way to stay motivated. So if you have a travel fund or something like that, name that account travel fund. And some banks on your app or something, you're able to give that account a nickname. So name it travel fund, name it house fund or something like that. And that way, name it Gucci bag fund, whatever you're saving for. Every time you see it, you're reminded of what the ultimate goal is, and I think that keeps you driven towards it. Another way is to increase your retirement deductions. So if you are employed by somebody who has some sort of pension fund, they would deduct from your salary before you even see your salary. So that's one way to increase your savings and investments, because they're taking money away before you even see it, so you don't get attached to that amount. If you can reduce your attachment to money that needs to be saved and invested, it's going to be so much easier for you to do the right thing. One simple way of increasing how much you're saving, so incrementally, but in total it'll make a big difference, is rounding up your amounts, particularly on your bond. So if you look at your bond payment, it might be 9,722, right? round that up to 9,800 and make that your debit order, you know. Just that little bit extra is going to make a difference in days, in months. Maybe you're comfortable to round it up to 10,000, right? Just whatever you're comfortable doing, round it up, and that way you're saving just a little bit extra, but it's making a dent. Same thing with your savings and with your investment. Try keep to round numbers. If shopping is your Achilles heel, there's a few ways to try and curb that and rather encourage the saving and investing side. Firstly, delete your payment information from e-commerce apps, right? If you have to reach for your card every single time and put in all those numbers, hopefully you're building in some time to think about it and say, do I really need this? Do I really need this? If that's not enough, institute a 48-hour buying delay. So that's just a personal decision you'll make. I used to always have a 24-hour one. So if I'd go shopping or something and I really like something, I'd say, okay, let me go sleep on it. And if I wake up tomorrow still wanting this, then I must come back. But also you'll find life happens. So if you have a 48-hour buying delay, you may find life happens. If it's on the weekend, then technically I can actually only go the next weekend. So that's a whole week later. And next weekend, I might just not be that into it anymore. Do I really need this item, you know? I think it's particularly important to have these buying delays when you're shopping online because it's so easy to buy stuff. So see things you like. What I usually do is put it into my shopping cart and then let it go. And I come back a few days later. A lot of the time it's gone. And then I'm actually relieved. It's like when you try on something really, really expensive and you just hope it doesn't fit or you hope it looks bad and then it does and you're like, yes, I don't have to buy it. I wanted it, but like I also knew I shouldn't buy it. So similar thing. But I mean, in 48 hours, if you still want it, if you still need it, then you can make that decision at that time. But let's not make any rash buying decisions. My favorite tip for trying to curb the spending and increase the saving is to calculate your purchases in hours, not currency, not like hard currency, right? Whether it's rands, dollars, pounds, whatever you're using. I love this because first and foremost, what you need to do is calculate what your hourly rate is. That alone is probably going to shock you. And I mean, try to get to your true hourly rate because I mean, we can calculate our hourly rates based on 8 hours, but really think about it. Really calculate how long am I at work? Because technically my contract is an 8-hour contract, but in reality, I'm at work from 8:30 in the morning till 7 at night, right? So I should actually use, what's that, 10.5 hours? Take your pay and figure out what your hourly rate is. Then when you want to buy something, so say your hourly rate is 200. If you want to buy something that costs 1,000 rands, dollars, pounds, whatever, now you know that's 5 hours of work and you can calculate things that way. And I think when you put it into that context, you start to realize, oh, okay, not worth it. And I like that you start to focus more on the income side. To me, I would think, okay, that's 5 hours of work. However, if I have a side hustle, I'm making more money, all of that, my hourly rate is going to increase. And now it goes down from 5 hours to 3 hours. I'm okay spending 3 hours on a handbag. Why not? So yeah, I love that one. Try it out. First of all, calculate your hourly rate and decide if you've been paid enough. Get yourself an accountability partner. So I think this is really cool just in general on this financial independence journey. If you go on the journey with someone else and you keep each other accountable, that's always a great way to stick with something. This next one is pretty exciting. Match every rand, dollar, pound you're spending with the amount you're saving. Okay, so basically challenge yourself to do that, to say, listen, if I'm going to spend 400 rand on this jacket, I have to put 400 rand in my savings account. Do I have that? Do I want to do that? No. Well, then I'm not allowed to buy this thing for 400. Okay, so if you have that rule for yourself, you know, you may actually find what you'll do is you say, okay, I want to buy this thing, it's 400 rand. I have to match my investment account with 400 Rand. I say, oh, I don't have 800. Do I need this jacket? No. Okay, take it one step further. Take that 400 that you were thinking of spending and put it in your investment account. Tricked into investing. Set a bonus budget. Okay, now we know every time people get bonuses, there's always emails going around saying, guys, please don't spend it on, you know, travels and these things. Like, invest, do something smart with your money. But we're human beings, right? We want to live our best lives. So set a bonus budget which clearly indicates how much of your bonus you want to actually enjoy and how much you're going to invest. And the minute it comes through, do exactly that. The only other thing I'd say about this is don't set a bonus budget before you have a bonus. Guys, 2020 showed us anything can happen, right? So always be on the assumption of zero unless you are in the know of otherwise. Unless it's 100% certain, because spending money you don't have is not a good idea for your mental health and your financial health, just health in general. This next one is hectic. It is hectic. I proposed it to my fiance, and yeah, we were like, whew, that one's hectic. We're gonna try work towards it. But live on one income if you are a 2-income household. Oh, okay, so basically what this means is figure out your expenses and your living based on one person's income, and that will mean that you have the other person's income fully to invest, right? That's pretty impressive. Now, if you're already far down the rabbit hole like I am, this might not be that possible to just switch up already, but you can work towards it, right? Because this goes to another point, which is avoiding lifestyle inflation. So as you're getting more money, you're earning more, whatever, don't increase your lifestyle rapidly as well. Maybe try work towards that living on one income idea so that you guys can fully invest the second income. If you can get to that point, then that means your household will be on a 50% saving rate, which is amazing, and you will reach your goals so much quicker. I hope you feel like you are able to sufficiently trick your mind into saving more and investing more, because remember, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep and how hard it works for you and generations to come. If you like these videos and you thought those tips were pretty useful, please like and share this video. Also subscribe to my channel and click the notification button so that you can be notified every time I load a new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.